I'm Haley B. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going over part 2 of my Washington trip, where we go through the Olympic National Park, Forks, Washington, and the charming town of Snoqualmie. We are on the ferry on our way to Port Angeles, and we are going to stop and get some lunch, get some sushi probably, and then we are going to head to our next destination, to Forks, so I can get my Twilight on and see all of the Twilight areas, the Swan House, anything else that I can stop and see today. So as we are driving to our next destination, I see signs for a lavender field and I freak out and I'm telling Trent, you have to stop, you have to stop. I'm looking for the exit, I'm putting it in my phone, I'm trying to find it. We weren't even sure which exit to take, but I was like, take this one. I was so excited to see it. So we got off the highway, and if I'm pronouncing the town correctly, it is, I'm looking on my phone, it is Snoqualmie, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So if I'm not, I'm sorry. But we stopped there and they had a lavender field and it was so beautiful. I'm so happy that we got the chance to stop and see it. I've never been to a lavender field before, and they had lavender ice cream, but they were sold out when we got there, so we didn't get any, but it was a really nice pit stop. And then afterwards we stopped at a little cafe and got some peach lemonade mimosas. Trent, tell us what we're doing.
We're stopping at a lavender farm.
We're on our way to Forks and we came across a lavender farm, and they also have, I guess, rosé tastings nearby. Trent, are you so excited?
I'm so excited for lavender.
Alright, this place is so beautiful. There are flowers everywhere and tons of lavender fields, even though not all the lavender has bloomed yet. And then they also have some ice cream that I'm hoping I can get some if they're not sold out. And they also have a little gift shop. I'm so glad we found this place. Aren't you so glad?
Woo.
Okay, so we finally made it to the Olympic National Park. First we stopped, at the lavender field, and then we stopped in Port Angeles, where we went and got some sushi. The Bella Italian restaurant that she ate at in Twilight was closed until dinner time, so I didn't get a chance to eat there. We stopped at the Lake Crescent Lodge on the way, and it was so beautiful. I kind of wish we would have stayed there, but it was a little bit farther away from things, but it was really pretty to see. And then we drove about 15 minutes and we got to Olympic National Park, where we were staying near Forks, where Twilight was based. So one thing I noticed on our way to Olympic National Park is that that area of Washington was a lot more conservative than the Seattle area. So I had a top on that showed a little bit of my belly, like seriously just a little bit. I wouldn't even consider it like a crop top. And we stopped at a Dollar Tree, and when I walked in, I got my stuff and I was checking out, and the guy checking me out kept looking down at my stomach, and then he said, are you ready for summer? And I was so confused by the question. I was just like, yeah. And then he looks down at my stomach again and he says, are you trying to get a tan? And that's when I realized what he was talking about. And I wanted to say something back and be a smart aleck, but I decided not to. And I was just like, maybe. And then cashed me out in silence and I left. And then we went to a grocery store near Forks to get some stuff for our cabin. And it was just super awkward. I felt really uncomfortable in there wearing my crop top. That's what you want to call it. And it was just a different atmosphere. So if you're traveling through that area, just a heads up. So we got to our cabin, and little backstory, the night before we left Seattle, I was looking at our cabin. It was an Airbnb, and I realized it did not have air conditioning. And at this time, it was like 90 degrees in Washington. And I started crying, and I told Trent, I said, it doesn't have air conditioning. And he's like, what? And I was so disappointed in myself that I didn't catch it, but that's not typically something I look for when I'm traveling in the United States. So it didn't have air conditioning, and we were worried about that. But honestly, it was totally fine because it was kind of in a wooded area and it was a lot cooler on the coast. So that problem was fine. But so we get to the cabin, and it was kind of awkward. We get there and we get out of the car, and people sitting next to us, and I got out of the car, they said, oh, great. So I thought that was pretty strange. So again, I kind of felt uncomfortable. And I'm again assuming it's because of the way I was dressed. Everybody else is dressed for camping, and I show up like, does this place have air conditioning? So it was a little bit my own fault. So anyway, we stayed in the cabin, and it was really cute, and it was really, really clean. But you'll learn more about the cabin later. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go check out the beaches. And I had no idea what to really expect. I knew that they would probably be made out of like a rock beach. It wouldn't be a sand beach. And I knew it'd be a little bit cooler. But again, it'd been like 80s, 90s this whole week. It was super nice out. So I thought maybe people would kind of be like sitting out, like not necessarily like laying out like you would on a beach in Florida, but kind of sitting out on like a towel. And I was so wrong. I showed up to the beach. I had a bikini on, shorts, flip-flops, and I had brought just like a little pullover. It was so windy. People were walking around in like hiking boots and toboggans and jackets, and luckily I had another jacket with me I threw on, but I was definitely out of my element. It is not the kind of beach that you want to have a drink and relax. So that didn't work out for us, but I came back prepared the next time we went to the beach. Well, we made it to Forks, and we checked into our cabin, and we went straight to Rialto Beach. And it is a lot different than I thought it was going to be. Very rocky and windy, which is totally fine. But I was thinking that since it was like 80 degrees outside, it might be a little bit nicer. So I have on my jacket and my flannel, and I've been collecting cute rocks along the beach. My favorite rock so far is this one. Looks like a shiny egg. And then so I guess we're gonna go try to find like a Walmart or somewhere we can buy a few things of groceries, take it back to our cabin, and then we might do some Twilight sightseeing. We did the beach, and then just kind of hung out at the cabin for the rest of the evening. And then the next morning we headed to the HOH Rainforest. After waiting in line for like an hour to get in, we are finally in the rainforest and we are doing the Hall of Mosses. I originally read it as the Hall of Moses, and I told Trent, I said, why would it even be called the Hall of Moses? And he said, because he parted the trees. Spider monkey.
Spider monkey. Spider monkeys.
So the HOH Rainforest was actually really cool. It only took us though about 2 hours to complete because we didn't want to do the last hike that was left for us to do was a major hike. It was like 18 miles. It took us to the main river, which I'm sure would have been really cool, but I wasn't prepared to hike 18 miles, and honestly I would have wanted to like set up camp when we got there, and we weren't prepared for that. So it took us about 2 hours. And then I was like, well, I'm really hungry and there's really not much to eat around Forks. So we stopped and we got pizza. And I wasn't sure about the pizza place. Trent said, how bad can it be? Like, you can't really mess up pizza. I'm not kidding. They found a way to mess up the pizza. Like, it was not, I was so disappointed I chose to eat here. It was not good pizza, okay? Like, it is hard to mess up pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still good. No, this was just horrible. Like, I was inedible. I only ate one slice. And if you know me, I don't leave pizza behind. I was like, I don't even want a box. It wasn't good. So at that point, I was feeling really down. But we did went and we looked at a lot of the different Twilight stuff around town. That was really cool. That made going to that area more worth it. So seeing the HOH Rainforest and seeing the Twilight stuff, that's what made, oh, and the beach, seeing the beach, like even though I dressed in bikini the first day, seeing the beach was amazing because I have never seen the Pacific Northwest coast before. So that was really cool. So all those things really made that part of the trip. But yeah, we were supposed to stay 3 nights. And so this was now our 2nd night. And I was like, I cannot do it anymore. Trent couldn't do it either because our mattress in the cabin was not good. Like, it honestly felt like we were sleeping on a table with a blanket, and Trent had to keep his hand between his back and the mattress at night because a spring would stab him in the back. So it was just like, it was horrible. We'd only like slept a couple hours while we were there. If you buy my Washington itinerary, I promise you it has different lodging options that I did further research on, and it includes different places to eat. So I literally walked so that way you could run and have fun in Washington. I trialed all of this stuff. I messed some stuff up. I found where the errors were, and I now have a great itinerary where you can have a wonderful trip. Just a heads up. Yeah, so the cabin was just not our style. Like, I just wasn't prepared for it at all. So we decided to leave a night early, which, looking back on it, honestly, we only needed 2 nights in the Olympic National Park. We did not need 3 nights. So I'm happy that we ended up switching it. So we got in our car and we headed back towards Seattle. We left our cabin this morning at like 9 a.m. and we decided to check out early because one, we have not really slept the past 2 nights because the bed was so uncomfortable. Trent had to sleep with his hand between himself and the bed so he didn't get stabbed by the springs. So we decided to cut our losses and check out early and head back towards Seattle because for tomorrow night I had booked for us to stay at this really nice spa and lodge by a waterfall. So we decided to go ahead and get there a day early so that way we can actually rest and relax. Last night when we were contemplating leaving early, Trent said, well, tell me about the lodge, like you haven't even told me anything about it. So I look it up and I'm reading about the room and it's like, oh, it's a king size bed with memory foam mattress and plush bedding and a pillow menu with 6 different options to choose from. And he was like, book it, do it, call them right now. I want the pillow menu. We're done with this cabin. We're done, we're so tired. Trent maybe slept an hour last night and we've been driving now for a really long time to get back. We're exhausted and we got Chick-fil-A on our way here because we also have not ate that much in the past couple days, so we have our bellies full and we are excited to have a good night's sleep tonight. So once we got to the Salish Lodge and Spa, I mean, I was so happy because we had been in the car for so long traveling from the coast all the way to the other end of Washington. So we were running on low sleep. We really hadn't eaten because our last dinner was that one slice of pizza, and we were living off leftover pastries from the Seattle French pastry place. So we finally get to this lodge and I was so happy. It was like the gates of heaven opened up. We get there and they give us a welcome cocktail and I'm like, hell yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And they check us in. We decided to upgrade our room, and so one travel hack I have is if you are traveling and you're wanting to get an upgrade, your best bet of getting one is if you check in as close to like check-in time or later in the day as possible, because that's when they're gonna know what rooms they have left over that they can get for upgrades that day. So we checked in at 4 p.m. and we got a upgrade, and we upgraded we had just like a regular room, but we upgraded to a balcony that overlooked the waterfall, and it was amazing. We got into the room and, well, see for yourself. Trent the influencer. So we are checked into our, oh, he's not done. One more. Trent the influencer. We are checked into our room and we got some champagne and a view of the waterfall. Ding. Alright, so this place is amazing. I immediately put on my robe and my slippers, and they have an evening like a wine tasting. So we go and we get some of their rosé champagne and we sit on our balcony and we order room service. And at this point I'm just so tired, I don't want to do anything. So we order room service and we're in our robes and we ate it on our balcony. And then I took a shower and they had some like essential oil spray that you could spray in the shower. They also had a pillow menu and I ordered a lavender pillow, so they brought that to the room and I felt so relaxed. Like I was like a kid in a candy shop, like a kid in a candy shop. Like I was like laying in bed like I have made it, like this is it. and there was a gas log fireplace in our room. We had that on. Like, it was so relaxing. And typically at the end of my trip, I do like to splurge and kind of treat myself and do a relaxing evening where we do room service and just kind of chill in the room, because after a week of hiking and doing a lot of activities, I just want to chill and relax. But yeah, every single meal we had, we ate it at the lodge. That's how good the food was. Like, it was so good. We would eat it on our balcony. We would eat our breakfast on our balcony. Good morning. It is our last full day in Washington. We just ordered room service and Trent went to get some ice or some champagne. We're gonna have some mimosas, some pancakes, omelets. We're going all out. It's our last full day. And then after our breakfast, we are going to go do a hike down to the waterfall and see that. I might try to fly my drone if I'm able to. And then we'll probably go on a couple other small hikes today and mostly just relax. We do have a spa appointment at 4 o'clock, so it's our last day and we are balling out. They also have a really nice spa that we visited, and we had a 50-minute pool session. So what that is you get to go into like the hot tubs and the saunas and steam room, and you get to relax and you can order cocktails and stuff while you're in there, and it's all super private. And they bring you out cold washcloths that have been like spritzed with essential oils, so it's just super relaxing and a nice way to wind down after hiking all day. I really wish I would have booked a spa service. If we go back, I'm definitely going to do that. I really wanted to get a massage, but unfortunately they were completely booked when we got there. Okay, so enough about room service and robes. It's finally time to get out and hike. So we spent the entire day in Snoqualmie hiking, and I'm really happy that we came the extra day, because if not, we would not have been able to have enough time to do all this stuff. So we hiked down to the waterfall first. So where we were staying was right there on the waterfall. So we hiked down it. And let's just say I had one too many mimosas that morning, because I was literally sweating champagne. There were older people passing me using canes to get up and down this hill where the waterfall was, and I was stopping to take breaks. Like, I could not do it. So yeah, I am either super out of shape or I need to stop drinking before hiking. We made it to the waterfall. Just made it up from hiking the waterfall. I am drenched with sweat. I'm sweating champagne currently.
I don't feel bad at all.
Trent's totally fine. I'm just like super out of shape, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take another shower. After we hiked down to the waterfall, we went to Little Side Mountain, and it's a nearby trail that we hiked. We did not even get through all of it because it is such a large trail, but we spent a couple hours doing that, and it had some pretty steep inclines. Trent thought it was pretty funny to watch me struggle again. But it was really cool seeing the different views of this hike because hiking over near Seattle and like Mount Rainier was totally different. So all the places that we have been in Washington have had totally different landscapes every single time. The landscapes in Snoqualmie kind of reminded me of Colorado a little bit because it had more just like forestry to it. Go ahead and eat. It is our last night here, our last night doing room service and overlooking the waterfall. We just finished up at the spa and we've had such a good time while we're here, and we are already thinking about coming back this winter so we can see the area with all the snow. But yeah, we really liked Snoqualmie and I was like, I could definitely live here. We want to come back in the winter time and also visit Leavenworth while we're there. My favorite part of the trip, just from the second part, was either seeing Rialto Beach, even though I was not dressed for it at all, or staying at the lodge and spa and just pampering ourselves and overlooking the waterfall. If I could change one thing about this part of the trip, and it also goes for the whole trip, it was not staying as long in Olympic National Park. The 2 days that we did was perfect. We did not need to book 3 nights, so looking back on it, I would have booked 2 nights, and I did fix that in the itinerary, and I would have stayed somewhere else other than the cabin. My favorite meal of this second part was all the food that we ate at the Salish Lodge and Spa. Like, every single meal was so good. Every night for dinner, I ordered creme brulee. For dessert, all the drinks were good. The lemon ricotta pancakes, like, I mean, I ate so good when we were staying here. Still though, the Pink Door was my favorite meal that we had while in Seattle, but of the second part, eating at the Lodge and Spa was definitely my favorite. Although I did have a really good peanut butter milkshake that we stopped at a dairy bar on our way back from hiking. That was my reward for myself after doing all those hikes, after pretty much sweating a bottle of champagne out. I hope you've enjoyed my Washington vlog. That covers my entire trip. It was an amazing stay and I cannot wait to come back to Washington. It was such a beautiful state and honestly an underrated vacation destination. So I'm very pleased with our trip and I can't wait to come back again. See you next Wednesday for another video.